exercise being conducted by the Fife Flyers to encourage more young people to take up the sport. But in fact, PR doesn't seem to be very necessary here, for ice hockey, which was so popular about 50 years ago, seems to be enjoying something of a comeback. There are 4 Scottish teams in the British Premier League at the moment, and the Fife Flyers are currently enjoying one of their best seasons ever. Last night, they beat Southampton 6-2 at home in front of a crowd of more than 3,000. In Kirkcaldy, the kids don't play football on the streets, they play hockey. On Saturday nights, the doors at Kirkcaldy Ice Rink open at 6:30, but long before that, the queue starts forming, and by the time the game starts, there are often over 3,000 people packed into the arena. Ice hockey, said to be the fastest game in the world, is now the best supported sport in the Kingdom of Fife.
Always stretch before practice. Get those muscles loosened up, boy. Okay, let's go around here. Loosen up. Let's go around once. Howdy ha! Come on, you keepers. Okay, guys.
When the ice rink was built back in the 30s, ice hockey was just taking off on this side of the Atlantic, though the sport was already well established in Canada. Today, after something of a lull, ice hockey is on the up again, and the Flyers matches attract bigger crowds than Raith Rovers on the other side of town. 50 years ago, all but 2 of the Flyers were Canadians. Today, rules limit the number to 3, all new to the team this season, and captained by Ronnie Plum.
Ronnie, why do you think ice hockey is enjoying such a comeback?
Well, Sally, I think that, you know, it's often been said that ice hockey is one of the fastest games in the world. And when you sit up in the stands and you watch it, it is tremendously fast. We're sometimes skating at speeds of 30 miles an hour out there. You can shoot the puck at excess of 100 miles an hour. There's a lot of body contact, and it's a physical game, and the fans really get caught up in it.
Well, what are the standards like here compared with Canada?
Well, there again, Sally, it's very hard to compare because in Canada, you know, our national pastime is hockey, and we treat it on a very professional basis. You've got to remember here that all our players, all the players on the Fife Flyers here have permanent jobs. This is a hobby. They love the game, and they put all this effort in really with no reimbursement. So on Canada, it's looked on as a professional level, and it's a little different type of scale. I know as a coach, I find that the players, one of the biggest things between the Saturday's game to the following Saturday's game is that the players get a little rusty. Their timing, stick handling, and shots are off, which leads to some frustration. So I try to get them out here, skate, and get them sweating a little bit. The most important thing at the beginning would be to stretch out all your muscles, okay? Especially groins, shoulders, and all this. We do a little bit of stretching off the ice, and then on the ice we'll get in a group and go through that routine. Possibly the next most important thing is warming up your goalkeepers. A goalkeeper, you know, is one of the key men on your team. He needs to be loose. So we keep the shots down, shoot them way out, gradually move in on them and that. One of my ideas for practice is to continually keep the tempo moving. I could spend an awful lot of time on theory, but it's not going to do any good in getting the fellas in shape. So I like to kind of keep the flow of practice going, get them into a rhythm and get that metabolism up, and I think it benefits them most of the time.
With the help and experience of the 3 Canadians, 2 of whom are at the top scorers in the UK, the team is enjoying one of its best seasons ever, often playing 3 matches a week. The Flyers are currently lying at the top of the league on goal difference, and back in December they made it to the final of the Blue Call Cup, narrowly beaten by the Durham Wasps in a packed Wembley arena.
That was a fantastic game in a sense that we represented Scotland, they were representing England. We won our games to get there in the Blue Call final. It was a tremendous atmosphere, and it was on TV, and the fellas were very hyped up about it. We had tremendous support from Fife down there to watch this game. It was a game that had a little bit of everything in it, end-to-end rushes, goals scored. I know that we ended up, I think the score was 6-4 for Durham. It was a hard-fought game, and it was a real thrill for all the fellas to participate in that.
So you were second in that, you came runner-up, but you did come close. You're top of the league at the moment. Do you think you'll remain top at the end of the year?
Well, that question's been asked me from the very start of the season. And I'd like to say that we take it game by game, and there's a lot of tough games remaining, both for ourselves and for some of the other top clubs. I think over the next month or so, with key games up here in Scotland and down in England, results will trickle in, and you'll see it could be very tight, really. It's going to be possibly between us, Murrayfield, and Durham.
The conflicting interests of the figure skaters and the curling fraternity mean that ice time is very limited for the hockey enthusiasts. Their practice sessions are late at night and are often restricted to just an end of the rink. But as the sport grows in popularity, will the Flyers have to look for more facilities?
This year alone, just the emergence of more enthusiasm and into the game has given us cause for thought.